Guys, even the correct summary of Elden Ring is complete incomprehensible nonsense. So when Max0r gives us part 1 of his incorrect summary, maybe, just maybe, I'll be able to understand Elden Ring. Not holding out hope, though. Let's get into it.
Craft Let's Play. Elden Ring, or as I like to call it, Boomer Band, is a fun new hack and slash and bash and crash my car, developed by Epic Games director Hide Your Tacos Miyazaki with the express purpose of inflicting pain upon the gaijin. In this adventure, you play as the famous video game's protagonist Elden John as he undergoes...
Okay, Boomer? Really? This is a lot of things. It is not a game for boomers. I understand that Gen Z just want a Fortnite dance and Candy Crush or whatever, but I don't even know what Gen Z want to do on video games anymore. Just TikTok maybe. But Elden Ring is not it. It sounds like it is just too hard. And maybe I'm the boomer, but I don't know. Boomers just don't play video games. They just watch Fox News and yell at the TV.
Many trials and tribulations on his quest to fight the entire Catholic Church and kill God. This game is a little difficult. You could call it the Dark Souls of Skyrim. As such, many challenges await the player, and most of it is the work of Satan, as is every game.
Okay, I'm going to point something out interesting. I was at the Vatican recently, and I really assumed that the core tenet of Catholicism was the things that Jesus taught, like, you know, being kind to your neighbors and stuff. But no, incorrect. When you walk around the Vatican, you are struck by the fact that every single room in the museum has the exact same theme, which seems weird. And that is the triumph of Catholicism over its enemies. Literally, there are room-sized Renaissance paintings of just battles of the Catholics just mollywopping people. And you're like, wow, you guys really missed the message of the entire religion. It's like including the parts about like charity and goodness were just sort of secondary in importance to conquering your enemies so you can enforce your values of charity and chastity onto the earth by the sword. It's a real fun look.
Made by the Japanese, spanning a gigantic world slightly larger than Africa, we will find many secrets, uncover many attractions, and slay the entire cast of the Bible. I've always liked that book. My favorite part was the genocide.
Which one? I think there's like 15 genocides in the Bible. Like Old Testament God just would just genocide people wholesale. It seems kind of weird, right? Does anyone else think it's weird that we have a deity, the same deity, who before like 1000 BC was just like, you're what? A marginally different ethnic subset living in the Middle East, genocided. Oh, what's that? You're speak a slightly different language than my preferred people, genocided. And then like 1 AD, he shows up and is like, oh my God, I was so drunk. What happened? Where are the Canaanites? What happened to all those ethnic minorities? And they're like, God, you got drunk and killed them. And he's like, oh, I'm sorry. That was one of the rules that I forgot to tell you guys. But I'm sending this guy Jesus. He's going to clear everything up. Killing bad. They're like, are you sure, God? Because you killed a lot of people. Like, even ones that didn't do anything. You killed women and children just because they were born to the wrong ethnicity. Are you... But you're sure? You're sure we're not supposed to kill? God's like, 100%, never. We stuck it right there. Unless I tell you to kill. Because that was another one of God's MOs. He would sometimes pawn it off, right? Old Testament God would just be like, hey, I want you to take care of these guys for me. And they're like, the guys, right? And he's like, no, everybody. Just get rid of them. It was a really, really didn't make a lot of sense given, like, truly we were made in God's image because of his incredible, phenomenal hypocrisy, right? It's like every celebrity who's like, I just think respect is the most important thing. And then 2 weeks later, there's like leaked video of them just like beating on their spouse or something. And you're like, wow, truly celebrities are modern gods. Things are getting real. This is very anime. I mean, basically what this is this is the Lord of the Rings and Metal Gear Revengeance having a baby. That's the vibe I'm getting right now.
What the dog do?
Okay, Max0r is just living out his dream of being the editor for an anime series.
So
Oh my god, this is 27 minutes? Okay, yikes. All right, well, this chapter is called No Maidens, so, you know, that was also the part of the name of my my reaction to the Elden Ring Part 2.
boot up the game and, silly me. I forgot to unplug the keyboard so my controller can work. Now I'm free to make my character. Our journey begins inside of the Microsoft PowerPoint, the quality of which being so dubious that it resurrects you from the dead. Wake the fuck up, samurai. Of course, this is a FromSoft game, so Spider-Man is here to send us the fuck back.
It's more of a man spider, if we're honest with ourselves.
To our tutorial, which is a whole lot of fun. You know, just making friends, influencing people, and providing intuitive solutions to the issue of life. And with that problem sorted, it's time to take the elevator so we can accomplish the impossible and go outside.
Ooh, okay. Now you have to touch grass in a game. Okay, this is definitely not for boomers.
Welcome everyone to Limgrave, land of trees, laborious bears upon the trees, and this—
Okay, the scratching the bark, I think that's actually a thing bears do to like either sharpen their claws.
white person.
Tarnished, if you're lost, how about you start by finding some bitches? Stupid weeaboo wearing ass. When's the last time you took a shower with your dirty helmet wearing ass? With your weird ass cargo shorts, your mom?
Okay, this is a lot of hygiene roasting from someone who looks like they've never bathed. Period.
I gave you. Look, what I'm trying to say is, your fit is mid, and you get 0 bitches. Fuck out of my sight before I gotta look at those stank-ass vans again.
As per the words of our friendly associate.
Wait, let's see the reams. Greetings, Tarnish. You're seeking to restore the Elden Ring, but how about instead that you get some bitches first?
We proceed towards the castle in search of some bitches. In Dark Souls, we sought after the Dark Soul, and in Bloodborne, we tried to escape Britain. But for Elden Ring, our objective is to get the hose. This is a game mechanic. You cannot level up until you get a girl boss. So with nothing else to do, I guess we'll have to fight this tutorial boss. He's a little like, this tutorial is on how to flee in fear and, use geometry. Proceeding to the next batch of enemies, we must forsake.
Yeah, what I really hope with this is that, like, it follows the Metal Gear Solid 3 rule of the goal of the game is to beat the game. Like, to, you know, all the things where they're like, oh, this is going to be a hard boss fight because he uses stealth. Unless you camp in one spot and then you just wait for them to show up and blast them when they can't hit you. This is also known as being actual tactically savvy. Basically, if you were to beat this boss like he illustrated, for example, by finding a piece of terrain that jams them into place and then you just sort of deal 10 damage at a time, that would, right, this is the equivalent of the HIMARS system, right, in the real world. Right, HIMARS is a mobile rocket launcher that can be towed by a truck. You just put your truck in park, set your coordinates, and then you just throw rockets at your problem. And the nice thing with the HIMARS system is it functions the same way as this dude, where it launches projectiles far further than Russia can fire back. And so as long as you know exactly what you're aiming at, you can just mollywop anything in the backfield, and there's not shit they can do about it. It's a nice system, and basically all of warfare is looking for those sort of can't stop me type systems. They're brutal when you can get them, and it sucks to be on the receiving end of them. But that's your whole goal, and I suspect that Elden Ring may be the same way. Like, you can play the hard version, or you can try to just like hack it out.
Proceeding to the next batch of enemies, we must forsake direct combat in favor of the stealthy techniques of video game protagonist Rigid Danger Mighty Jungle Noodle, at which point they form a violence committee. Try finger, but hold.
Sup, bitch?
What the fuck?
My name is Melatonin, and if I may inquire, sir, I am in need of a quirked-up white boy who can bust it down sexual style, so that I may make him goated with the sauce.
Okay.
No
Okay, easy there, Russian Badger.
Cap, all we have to do now is kill every demigod on the planet.
Every what?
I'm glad you asked. Long ago, this land was ruled by the great Queen Marinara, who pissed off God so badly that he left the fucking universe. Now her power, the Amazon gift card, is shattered, and her athletic scions are holding a contest to see who can die the least.
So God comes back when I kill them?
No, but you get to keep the gift card. These are the faces of evil, who have all claimed a shard of the card. Some see
Yeah, I'm going to point this out that, you know, if we were to ever encounter a being of godlike power, their notion of good and evil would be so incredibly trivial to us, right? Like, we would look so trivial to them in matters of good or evil, right? Just because their perspective is so much different than ours. Think about how we view ants, right? Is it even worth our moral code to decide if individual ants deserve to live or die? No, of course not. They're ants. They're tiny brains. They're gonna die anyway as soon as the temperature drops below like 40. They're just not worth thinking about. And that's how a godlike being would probably look at us. So to sit there and be like, oh, they're evil, like, maybe, I guess, in the same way you're sort of evil to spiders that show up in your house, but like, it's not clear that the spiders even, it's not clear that the relationship is so different that it's impossible to impose our morality onto it, you know? So to sit there and lecture a god of being like, you shouldn't be mean to people who haven't done anything to you, and the god would just be like, oh, what? Oh, an ant trying to talk, squish.
seek glory, others redemption, and one is just really attracted to his younger brother.
Wait, what the fuck?
And after countless weekends at university, the tarnished warriors are called upon to rise from their tilted towers and achieve one final victory royale. Jake Paul, bastard of the Badlands, the ever-wet skelly sleeper, the crazy caca consumer, and least of all, you, tarnished warrior.
Is there like an opt-out?
Great, I'll send you to my dimensional pocket.
I see.
Oh good, a pocket dimension, yay.
Cool.
No, the metaverse. Ugh, well thank God. Yeah, that's as empty as the real metaverse, by the way.
Welcome to the Roundtable Hold, a place to rest, make purchases, and converse.
Guys, okay, let's talk about the metaverse for a second. I'm gonna break some hearts here, right? Metaverse housing prices. Virtual land prices crash 85% in waning interest. Do you know why? I'm gonna tell you why. Is because unlike real land, the metaverse doesn't play by anyone's rules. What do I mean by that? If you buy land next to Snoop Dogg's house or next to the Gucci store, there's an infinite number of places that are next to the Gucci store. If you say that there's 10 lots adjacent to the Gucci store, there's nothing stopping someone from going into the programming and being like changing that 10 to 100, right? It doesn't have to follow the laws of physics. See Elden Ring. The point is that I'm going to give you guys some not financial advice. Actually, this is financial advice. I don't even care. I don't have any certifications for them to pull from me anyway. Listen, there is only one place that you should park your money, and that is in a thing that provides some sort of value to people, or in the vehicle that you have to pay your taxes in. That's it. That's where your money should go. So for example, if you invest in Apple make iPhone. iPhone is thing. You give Apple money, they make more iPhone, then they give you money back with a return. That's how investing works. Here's what investing isn't. Investing isn't buying things that don't do anything, right? So if you buy a picture of a monkey, right, it's possible you could make money on your monkey picture. Anything's possible. But if you make money on it, it will be because you speculated. And I'm going to break some hearts. Owning land in the metaverse is not that. It doesn't do anything. No one's in the metaverse. Nothing's happening there. and it's infinitely divisible. You don't own the only piece of property, right? Zuck can go in and zuck your property out of existence. He can duplicate a property exactly like yours in your exact address. There's no constraining any of it. It doesn't offer people any meaningful good. I wouldn't even tell you, if you're going to buy land and you don't use it for anything, you're also just speculating, right? So again, if someone tells you that they want you to buy into a cryptocurrency, a metaverse land, some stupid app idea that doesn't do anything, those are schemes. They're cons, and you're a speculator. Even if you make money, right? Even a fool will eventually catch a fish, right? You can buy shit coins, and some of them will pump, and you'll get out in time. But if you want to actually grow your money, you have to put it in things, in vehicles that actually provide a good or service. I can't believe that this isn't something that we all just know already, but yes. So when you go to the metaverse, this is what your metaverse mansion looks like now.
With the homeless. Do you sell magic? You know what? I'm just gonna go over here now. I'm in hell. Now, as for our comprehensible friends, we could begin with the blacksmith, but he's a little busy right now. So that only leaves one more person, Fia, the deathbed companion. Unique among all women, including my mother, for offering to hug me. Of course, I do accept for gameplay reasons, but what I wasn't aware of was that this one action permanently debuffed my health, and I forgot to turn it off. For the entire game, the effect looks like this, and with that, I've reached my limit for human
getting a hug in Elden Ring. Punishing.
interaction. So
this is a little bit like the real world, you know? Listen, if you do something stupid at 19, you know, you commit a felony and spend some time in jail. You're F, dude. You are a felon forever. Doesn't matter that you served your time or paid your debt to society. You're donezo, dude. You'll never get a white-collar job. Like, it is... And you may be wondering, you're like, wow, why would America do that? Well, probably. My theory is the private prison industry probably lobbies to make sure that felons continue to be punished so that they have to turn to criminal activities once they get out, meaning that they are more likely to be recidivist. Because, of course, once you commit your second, third, or fourth crime, then you're really likely to get long stays and more of your tax money goes towards private prisons. So that would be my theory as to why, of course, we want to make sure that we punish people their entire lives for mistakes they made before very early in the game. Like this Chad here.
it's time to head back. Jesus Christ. To Stormvale Castle, where we can find the first demigod on our list of all people. Our approach begins by moving through the gate. Our approach begins with a battle against the Lag Beast, but honestly after that, the level is pretty easy. Alright, finally a cutscene.
Foul tarnished.
God damn it.
In search of the hose.
Unfortunately, I hate women. That sounds like a you problem, Chief. I am also homophobic.
Oh, man. So, okay, well, well, basically, he's got a career on Fox News incoming. He'll have his own show in no time.
And you are looking pretty gay right now.
I'm dunking on the Fox News so much because of the incredibly brilliant hot takes on canceling student loan debt. There's been some dumb ones. And I say that as someone who had never had any student loan debt.
Hey guys, it's me, Max0r. Welcome to the first boss.
I'm a pioneer. I'm an explorer.
Yeah, he's a little bit dumb. Margaret Thatcher is a very strong, very agile, and very interesting boss. Essentially, his purpose is telling you to fuck off and come back later, preferably when your bones are defragmented from the ass whooping. He combines delayed attacks, crazy combos, and eventually the Hammer of God, just like the real Margaret Thatcher when she hammered English oppression into the once peaceful streets of Derry. So I think I'm gonna take the hint and leave. Fortunately for us, young Sheldon Ring is a game with all kinds of activities to prepare and unwind. You know, like killing the fucking dragon, which for some reason is easier, just not too much easier.
Okay, well, yep, this continues to be completely insane nonsense. Moving right along.
For the next leg of our journey, the now disgraced loser baby resigns himself to living in the woods. That way, he can exist peacefully among the giant bears and, whatever that is.
Greetings, traveler. I am the Pitbull of the woods. Have you seen any orphanages nearby?
Why are you asking me that?
No reason. Legend.
Oh, man, dunking on pit bulls. Forgot about that. That's another good meme.
has it that at the edge of these woods...
Listen, do you know... Whatever you believe about pit bulls, about nanny dog bullshit, let's be honest. Of all the people you know that own pit bulls, how many love the fact that they're tough dogs, that that really they get their rocks off by having an aggressive, strong breed, ooh, big mean pit bull, right? I've yet to see like a classy person who doesn't want their dog to like scare people. Like, if you want it, just be like, yeah, I got this pit bull to scare the shit out of people. You shouldn't bring kids around it. Like, I would respect that. I would respect someone with the self-awareness to be like, I bought this pit bull to scare the shit out of people because I'm a shady person and I deal with a lot of shady characters and I want a dog that's going to just fuck them up. I would respect the hell out of that more than being like, my pit bull's a sweet little cuddly guy. And it's like, bro, we know that you drive your motorcycle, you have your skull tattoos, right? You got your beer belly, like you have all the tough guy accessories, just you've never actually done anything tough. You're an accountant. But, you know, you want the pit bull for the same reason. You just want to look tough. And like, that's why you got it. And nobody's going to think that, nobody's confusing your stupid pit bull for a golden retriever or a labradoodle or whatever.
There's a well-contained...
Oh, but chihuahuas bite just as many people. Bro, I will let a chihuahua bite me on a goof. I'm not letting a pit bull get within arm's reach of me if I have any choice, right? All bites are not created equal.
The tastiest children.
Okay.
Go there, traveler, and I will kill the infants of your choice.
Okay, this might seem bad, but I know a good deal when I see one. Unfortunately, I am blind. Hey guys, it's Max0r here. Welcome to fucking Space Mountain. I hope you like...
Yeah, he went into space hell. Okay. Instead of fighting literally the first boss, he descended to space hell. Got it.
being trapped in Smurf Valhalla because these fuckers don't play around. So to keep things short, this forest is watched over by the spirit of a gentle stag, and my immediate impulse is to kill it. This necessitates lighting 8 fires scattered throughout the sacred grove, or more accurately, sprinting between them while enduring the trials of free acupuncture meets Markiplier jump scare. That is not a sentence I thought was possible, but...
I don't even know who Markiplier is, and I don't care about jump scares, so... But let me know in the comments. Also, do me a favor, guys. If you've been here this long, hit subscribe. I really want that silver play button. Please hit subscribe. It'll make a huge difference for me. I've got one for the other channel. I really want to. We're just a couple thousand subs away. And if you hit subscribe and want me to do some goofy live stream in the comments, let me know. Okay, back to it.
Then again, we do have sentient lightning and Mr. Krabs. So after lighting the fires at the expense of my life, we devour the necessary peyote to enter the spirit cave. And as it turns out, Bambi is back from the woods and they had a chill.
He just adds, why did I edit like this? Yeah, why indeed, my man. Oh, this is Irish. Ta me ag. Deaname seo arag setater armaiden. Yeah, it seems Irish. Let me know if there's any Irish watchers who can translate that for me.
I like this fight. He shows me how bad I am at the video game and reenacts my trips to the horse race in 2006. Overall, it
Surprised he remembers that.
is a riveting and accurate portrayal of how fun it is to kill innocent forest animals. 10 out of Pt1. You don't even get anything from killing him, just the guilt. So after exiting the hell that is Quebec, we head across Limgrave to the Weeping Peninsula, called as such for its tendency to rain and also the race war. But before we get
Whoa. Hopefully just that first thing.
into that, we've got a few tasks to do.
Because, you know, if there's a genocide, God can't be far away.
Just like Among Us, these include fighting the sapient tree, uncovering chests that accidentally teleport me to the end of the game, and also the bell, which...
Just want to point something out, guys. So you may remember when we're talking about, iconic genocides. First off, there's a treaty against genocide. If you join me in my quest of cynicism, there's a treaty that all countries signed that said genocide bad. We won't allow genocide to happen, even though we don't intervene in the internal affairs of states. If there's a genocide, all states agree we're going to intervene to stop it. And that was well and good until a genocide started happening. The first example is Rwanda. Now, here's what's sort of insane about Rwanda. Rwanda is a really ethnically diverse place. Believe it or not. Yeah, I know. Americans, take off your American glasses for a second. Lots of different tribes, lots of different histories, lots of different migration patterns. But the Hutus and Tutsis, that's actually just made up. The Belgians just made it up. See, the British would come into an area they wanted to colonize. They would find usually the largest minority group who was out of power, and they would side with them and put them in power. What that meant is that that minority group would be basically saved by Britain and would be loyal to them. And that minority group that was now in power would understand that they could never lose Britain as a friend because they were outnumbered. It is a really effective strategy for establishing local rule, but colonial style subjugation. The Belgians sort of tried to do the same thing in Rwanda. They came in and they're like, well, who's the largest minority group? And they're like, well, there's 60 minority groups and there's tribes and sub-tribes. And they're like, this is too confusing. We're over it already. I'm going to make up two categories, Hutu and Tutsi, and we're just going to divide you guys in half or by 2/3 or something. And they just divided them in half and they said, all right, we're working with the Hutus. And they're like, do it? Like, yeah, you guys, here, we gave you guys an official Hutu ID card. Congratulations, you guys have all the government jobs. And whatever you do, don't let the Tutsis get involved. I might have these reversed. It's not important. The point is, they completely made it up. Total act of fiction. But after 100 years of dividing people by Hutu and Tutsi, people really believed that there was a meaningful difference between these groups. And so when one of them started genociding the other group, well, there was a problem. Remember, the international community all said that they weren't going to allow a genocide. But here's the thing. Why is France, Germany, the UK, the United States, Canada, Brazil, they're not going to send their militaries to help a tiny African country with the GDP of like a city block in New York, right? Like, there's no point. It's a waste of resources. But you promised you would. And so we invented, out of whole cloth, we invented a new term. We called it ethnic cleansing. It's not a genocide because obviously it's just ethnic cleansing, which is hilarious to me. Like, only if you're an incredibly bitter, cynical person, which I am, you find the fact that we got out of protecting people from genocide by redefining events as non-genocide ethnic cleansing is fucking nonsense.
May or may not cause
Anyway,
human
let's,
damage when we get
move
close
along.
enough. It even contains the rarest of all loot, a woman who tells us the tale of Castle Morn.
Okay, weird that all women in this game seem to have vision problems.
A fortress that made the grievous mistake of permitting Furfest 2022 in their local Hilton. Except these are not costumes. My brother in Christ, they are misbegotten chimera and you're going to die. So as can be expected, they massacred everyone and started a county-sized race war, and now they're sending me to clean up their human corpse ball pit. Fortunately, just like all issues in life, this one is fixed with a massacre. They haven't invented war crimes yet. I like this level actually. It's pretty short. Just like this video. My favorite detail is that they gave crack to an orangutan. Oh boy, it's more animal cruelty. We're climbing back into Harambe's cave.
I mean, is it an animal if they can, if they are engaging in weaponsmithing, if they reach the Bronze Age, they're probably not an animal. They're probably just sort of a person.
match and there is no gun.
I mean, we've given legal personhood to some nonsense. We gave legal personhood to a river. Like, I'm sorry, you can protect a river. It doesn't need to have legal personhood. But then again, we also gave legal personhood to an LLC. Like, I technically own a person, right? Because I have a legal S corp to like pay myself some stuff for YouTube. And so technically I, a person, own a corporation, also a person, but that is also just me. I am the corporation. It's a single member LLC. So, you know, am I me? And do I own me as a slave? Or am I two people? Am I two persons and one people? Okay, let's move on.
You know, when he isn't converting my bones to sand, this fight is actually easy, mainly because his health is the size of my prefrontal cortex. But even still, I had a great time reenacting the murders I did 2 years ago. And just like this fight, I will not
confession.
Face the consequences. Enjoy this while you can, because we've got a few more people to talk to, such as D, a man who gives us a fair warning about the dangers ahead.
The village here has been touched by death.
Thanks, as well as speaking to the sentient jar, which you may find strange, but really we are all containers for suicidal thoughts. So after quelling his, our new friend Jar Jar Binks tells us to head east to an industrious land known as Gary, Indiana. You know, it seems—
Ooh, man, Gary, Indiana. Damn, he's only going down. From Quebec, right? Universal healthcare, to New York, spiraling rent and homeless crisis, to Gary, Indiana. The final, the end boss for homeless crises, right? Once you have an entire city of people who are just unstably housed, you end up with Gary, Indiana.
Seems like we're going a little bit off the beaten path with this one, but I'm pretty confident. After all, how bad can it possibly be? What the fuck is that? Oh no. Oh god.
That's that opioid crisis, dog.
Let's go back to the castle. This time I think I'll walk all the way back to Market. Hey guys, it's Max0r here. Welcome back to the Let's Play. And on this episode, Margit is still hard and a bit distrustful. One might say suspicious. We need to eject him. Margit, more like Marge Simpson. Even with better gear, this is a fight that demands, among other things, awareness and patience. Emphasis on the patience. But most importantly, this fight requires experience. Experience gained through fighting zoo animals, dragons, and even Canadians to squeeze out the narrowest of victories. Just to watch out for the hammer. Really glad we could beat the first boss 9 minutes into the video.
It's actually 10:41.
Welcome everyone to Stormvale Castle, realm of the first demigod, Godric the Garfted. And if I can't get to him in 20 minutes, the lasagna is free. Stormvale is a complex, multifaceted dungeon with various paths, only one of which is correct. So instead, we take the side route across the wall, past the knife birds, and into a Chinese chemical factory. So after cracking open a cold one with the boys, we ascend the political compass until I have authority over life and death, which coincidentally—
Yeah, I wonder what's the third dimension of the political compass, right? Like there's so you can obviously have one axis, right? That's one dimensional, left and right. The compass adds a second dimension about economic views, right? So you have political and economic views, creating the four quadrants. But then if you had another dimension, depth, what would that be, right? What other quadrants can you subdivide people?
leads us to the castle grounds and
maybe some sort of overarching moral code or something.
I didn't know they made Irish birds. Colonel, I'm trying to sneak around, but the clamp of my ass cheeks keeps luring me glowing. All right, it looks like we're finally making some progress. All we have to do now is get through the he's quite the handyman. Knows how to work with his hands.
Man spider. Yeah, does whatever a man spider can.
You could say he's quite the handful. Better use this door to keep him at arm's length. I'm very funny, by the way. Stay tuned for more laughs and gags on The Big Bang Theory, Sundays on NBC. I'm sorry, Odie, but I could not stop myself. After all—
One last. I had to go all out just this once.
Oh, it was a Monday. And I hate Mondays. Pizza delivery for Garfield? It's called lasagna. Pizza Hut really ought to work on serving giant castles. I work for Domino's. Then it sounds like you could.
Yo, dude. Okay, fun fact. Domino's is the letdown story of the decade. Domino's used to have such good pizza. They really invested in it and they were profitable. And then some idiot was like, we have to make the share price even higher. It's like, dude, you're one of the most grown companies in the decade. And yet they somehow were just so stupid and greedy that they still were like, we're gonna, like, look. Okay. Here, gaze upon this. This is Domino's stock price. Okay. As you can see, it looks like Netflix. It looks like a major tech company. Like this is Google's trajectory. As you can see, 2007, $9, right? And now you can see 2007, it was $25, right? Now Google has grown to an eye-popping 137. Domino's, an eye-popping at its peak $535. Okay, what was wrong with Domino's Pizza? Nothing was wrong with it, and yet a 2,700% gain wasn't enough. They were like, how can we make our pizza even more cost efficient? And they were like, let's skimp on the cheese. Let's make sure we only use 3 pepperonis. Literally, this price, this is not the pandemic and people not ordering pizza. This is them going from give people good pizza that tastes good even if it's super unhealthy to literally, I have yet to order a Domino's pizza in the past year where they have actually put cheese over the entirety of the pizza. There's always like a missing quarter where there's just no cheese. It's like, bro, how are you so cheap that you can't spare a little extra cheese? Your stock was $535 a share. Bro, issue 1 share of stock and that's enough to cover all the pizzas, all the uncheesed parts of the pizza. For every pizza for like the entire East Coast. Bro, what was wrong? Nothing. And this is sort of what kills me about the like corporatization of everything. If this was a mom and pop pizza shop, right? They would just say, listen, we make a boatload of money per pizza. Our pizzas are great. People love them. We just keep making great pizza and we'll make good money. But someone bought the stock. Some institutional investor, right, bought into Domino's at this price because they thought there was some way to make this $600. Like, it wasn't enough that Domino's was there was a $500 for a chain pizza company. They had to be like, we're going to get this to 6 by cutting down on cheese and making less ingredients. And you're just like, God damn it, man, please. Anyway, sorry. These are like only barely relevant to the game, but they're just so salient to my life, okay?
Use a bit of a hand, with making the pizzas. I command you to laugh. Do you know what I've gone through to make that joke?
In this battle against Godric the Minecrafted, we put our patience to the ultimate test as Grandpa pilots his fucking Max0r Evangelion straight into the housing market. Much like his titular cat, Godric is a fucking gremlin who attained his abilities by entering Friedrich Fastbear's Mega Pissplex in the year of our Luigi 1987.
What the
and then sewed the children therein to his wacky animatronic suit. They call him William Grafton. But besides that, his coordination is subpar since he has to migrate a mosh pit to attack you, and it's quite excessive. Godric holds all of his attacks until the heat death of the universe, which means you have to pay attention to his arm carefully, and that's pretty difficult when he's shaped like a 4-dimensional object. I'm finding it pretty hard to keep track of him. He seems to morph around so we fight him slowly and with
sorry if this hurts your eyes. Bro, your entire video series hurts my eyes.
Like the Viet Cong, dodging, slicing, and dying until eventually reaching oh. Oh God. I guess he didn't need a hand. So to overcome the taxes on his 401k, Godric decides to order a bad dragon to release his inner Todd Howard's The Skyrim.
Finally, I have the power to cook all the lasagna I want.
Welcome to phase 2, bitch.
I hate those second health bars. So I don't play hack and slash games. This Everyone wishes. He just wishes every game was Metal Gear Revengeance. Just say it, bro. Like, his Metal Gear Revengeance video didn't even really need editing. It was already preposterous.
This is the best game ever made. The Round Table Hold, my favorite location. There's really nothing else like it in the realm of physical science. Speaking of which, it's been at least 3 seconds since a homeless guy yelled at me. Let's fix that without going to Los Angeles.
Hey, people.
Oh god.
It is I, the Lore Man.
Okay, do you know...
Seth is here? We already had Uber Danger, now Seth is here? Damn.
Where the bathroom is.
My IQ is the highest among all Reddit.
That's not saying much.
Did you know Renala of a full moon resides?
Okay, you know what?
within the
Never mind.
academy?
Let's just talk to, this is worse. Let's, come back to that eventually. Oh, I guess I'm stuck here. Fuck. Congratulations, we've made it past the first demigod out of 6.5. I'm sure his subjects will remember him fondly. Remember all those adventures we had together, all those places we've been. That was 10% of the map. I'll probably finish these videos in a nursing home. This is the rest of the game, and wow. I better call Gandalf for that shit because we've got a ways to walk. Welcome everyone to Ligma of the Lakes, the largest swamp that Miyazaki was allowed to build. 30,000 men have already died, and on today's episode, we will be heading to the second demigod on my list of political dissidents, Renala of the Red Lobster, Queen of Area for at least the next 10 minutes resides in the magical academy of Malaysia Lucario. And to get there, we need to head across a biological minefield known informally as the Crustacean Nation. It is here that we face our greatest challenge.
Okay, alright. I don't think there's real lobsters in swamps, but what I will say is, if you ever want to know about some of the worst, most difficult camping in the world, it's camping in a swamp. Honestly, this is unironic. Easiest is probably like the woods, followed by like Badlands or Scrub. Scrub can be pretty tough. Then probably any sort of winter or tundra environment is hard. Then the desert. The desert's pretty brutal. And then at the very bottom is a swamp. You can't move. Right, you just getting wet, right? Like if you were wearing all this armor and you got wet, you would be fucked, like unironically fucked, right? Because there would be water trapped in everything. You'd move around, your skin, which would already get soft, would just get rubbed down to nothing. And just if you've ever had a wet sock and worn it all day, your feet are just fucked, like on a level it's hard to explain. This is why army people develop this weird fetish for like clean socks. I must have clean feet at all times. It's because literally if your feet get even a little bit wet, they're like fucked. And the problem is that if your goal was to breed bacteria, what would you make? You'd make an environment that's pretty dark, that's hot, that is very moist, and has a lot of organic matter for the bacteria to eat. That sounds like, well, wet clothes inside a shoe, or a wet helmet, or a wet anything, right? So that means that, of course, staph or some other godless bacterial infection is just waiting to strike, waiting to eat your toes alive. So anyway, that explains the military's incredible fixation on avoiding at all costs being wet. So just being in a swamp is like, no, like F off, F that. So anyway, guys, we're only at 15 minutes. We're only at the halfway mark of this video, but boy, howdy, is it a long one. So we're going to actually call it right there. Guys, as always, thank you to the patrons of Patreon. You guys are the true Chads. If you want to support this and get access to my breakdowns of some really spicy, not YouTube safe combat videos, become a member of the Patreon. But really, if you do one thing to help this channel, hit that subscribe button. Pretend I had a finger go ba-ding, right, in the animation, but I'm pretty lazy, and the last GIF I tried to use looked super jank. So anyway, just do that for me, please. All right, thanks. Catch you in the next one.